Back here, first things first, with Isiah Thomas. Time for Going Viral, sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Check out Ben Simmons in the gym working on the jump shot. Chris Carter's dream.
Y'all count the jump shots. Y'all count them.
Oh,
that was
we're
two.
at two.
Okay,
now
go
we're
ahead.
You said it's what you wanted to see.
I shot more yesterday, and it was thunderstorm.
Okay. Baby steps, man. You said you want to see video of him shooting jump shots.
I want to see him working out. I want to see him playing against some bums.
Hey, Tristan Thompson's out there. There's some other NBA guys.
Oh, Tristan Thompson's going to help him with his shot.
No, I'm
a
just
guy
saying.
who changed the shooting from right to left.
Hold on. Now you're changing the rules on me. You said playing against some people. Zeke, will Ben Simmons ever have a jump shot?
It depends on who's teaching him how to shoot. I mean, you can learn how to shoot, and your form doesn't necessarily have to be the greatest. I mean, one of the greatest shooters ever was Reggie Miller, and everyone was always trying to fix his elbow, right? And they always wanted him to move it in, so forth and so on, and he was like, no, I'm good. Cheryl taught me how to shoot, right? So I'm good. I think with repetition, work ethic.
Don't it say 10,000 reps to be an expert?
That's what it takes.
Yeah, you got 10,000 reps. You got to do that by yourself. You're not going to get it on the court.
Yeah. So
this dude is so wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm just saying. What do you mean? Well, how can I be wrong? I'm just asking questions.
He's in his 4th year, and can he shoot?
What?
I would say his numbers are right, but his methodology and criteria in terms of research sometimes.
Oh, we're talking about me now? I thought we were talking about
That's my guy.
Moving out west. For the first time in a long time, if ever, we'll have an actual, real-life, totally legit NBA rivalry between the two Los Angeles teams. Winner gets the Staples Center bragging rights, and perhaps the Western Conference. When asked about the rivalry with the Clippers, new Lakers guard Quinn Cook said, having two dominant teams in LA is so much fun. Isiah, it's a simple question. Which LA team is better set up to make a title run this season, the Lakers or the Clippers?
I'm going to say the Clippers. And the reason why I think they're set up more to make the NBA Finals run is because they have the defensive mindset. And then they got the, one of the genius coaches sitting on the bench. If not, we say Popovich is the best coach in the NBA. Then if Popovich is the best, then Doc Rivers is the second best in terms of what he's able to do, how he's able to create, and defensively the mindset that he'll bring to that team. When you're looking at Patrick Beverley, Leonard, George out on the perimeter, you arguably have the 3 best defensive players in the game on the perimeter in those 3. And with Doc's mindset and the way he will bring that team together, what we saw them do last year, I think they are set up to win. And then when you talk about a rivalry, I mean, Patrick Beverley's going to start the rivalry, right? You got 2 Chicago guys, Doc Rivers and Patrick Beverley. They are going to pick a fight with the Lakers, and they want the fight. And then you got 2 straight killers in terms of George and Leonard, who quietly just go out and take care of business.
Are the teams close enough that if you flip-flopped Rivers and Vogel, it would change your opinion?
Yes.
So a lot of this is about one of the reasons we thought one of the best arguments the Clippers had in getting Kawhi was not just front office, not just ownership, not just the lack of the ram-by running things, but who's sitting on your bench. You got one guy in Doc Rivers who you're saying is maybe the 2nd best coach in the game. He's already won a championship. He's gone on multiple deep playoff runs, came this close to winning a 2nd championship, Game 7 finals with a lead against Kobe and Powell and the Lakers. And then on the other end, you have a guy who, even if Frank Vogel can have a much better 3rd act of his coaching career than 2nd act, he was the Lakers' 4th choice. We know that. Like, that is not speculation. We know that they went down a list of candidates. They got rejected at the altar by Ty Lue and then settled on Frank Vogel. So that, to me, is a totally fair question. I do think when we talk defense, we are underrating to a degree what an Anthony Davis anchored defense can be with the right people around. We've seen Anthony Davis play Defensive Player of the Year level defense on mediocre teams. On a good team, on a team where, and I know everyone loves the viral video of LeBron being pushed out on the perimeter, we know year after year that in the postseason LeBron is a plus defender. And that's what we're talking about here, is what will they be in the postseason, or at least part of what we're talking about. Plus Anthony Davis protecting the rim. I don't think the Lakers are going to be a woebegone defensive team, but the Clippers should be the best defensive team in the conference, and they in Philly should jostle for the best defensive team in the entire league.
If Jenna was coaching the Clippers, they would be the best defensive team. Doc Rivers. Now, you know, through your head-to-head, you know how Doc is as a person.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly, Paul George, and Kawhi, they're all self-starters. You see how Nick went over the 82-game schedule. Oh, but LeBron going to play defense in 82 games.
Yeah.
Oh, really? After we get to the playoffs. That's one of the big differences is the mindset of these teams. The Lakers already have a mindset. You said it. We're going to play some defense when we get to the playoffs. Well, in the Western Conference, if you're the number 3 seed, you're the number 4 seed, it's going to be tough sledding. So for me, the mentality to go through the 82-game schedule, Doc has had success against LeBron James. Kawhi has had success. Paul George has had success. And Patrick Beverly, on the night that the Kawhi thing went down, you could see in Vegas. He went up to him and looked right at him, shook him up and said, oh, it's going to be on.
Yes.
And I followed him on Twitter. Yes. And you could see he had a little comment, how much fun it's going to be. So to me, we can blame it on Vogel. Because if Vogel, because he's a defensive specialist too, if he was coaching the Clippers, we would say, you know something, they're going to be one of the better defenders too.
No matter what.
So it's not just a Doc Rivers advantage. It's the mentality that team is going to have, Zeke, when they take the court. I believe that helps them get a better seed, and those seedings is going to be so important as we get into the end of March next
Regardless of which of those teams are better, as a former player, how much do you think current players are looking forward to going into a season for the first time in a long time without a super team, where everyone's got a shot? Last year we talked about, okay, so it'll be the Warriors this year, but then after that, we'll see what KD does. Now it seems like because of the decision Kawhi made, it's an open competition. Yeah, these two teams in LA are great, but it's a little bit more. Is that something more players will be looking forward to?
I think it's something that players are looking forward to, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the players now, because now there's no excuse, right? Yes. It's like the last couple of years, a lot of the players
the regular season wasn't that important.
Yeah, and they just conceded. Oh, well, so I'm just going to get my money, I'm going to get paid, I'm going to have a lifestyle, so I don't have to compete to be the best because this team is supposed to be better than me. But now everyone has a chance, so that means everyone has to raise their game. And I'm going to go back to your point about Doc Rivers, because he brings the intangible to me. And the intangibles is, can that coach reach inside your heart and pull something out of you, right? And make you do some things that you didn't believe that you can possibly do.
Oh, man, that's a great point.
And Doc Rivers does, that's what Buddy Ryan was good at, right? Buddy would make that defense think that they could do things that they didn't normally would do. And as an athlete, we all are self-starters at the great level. But then you need to be pushed just a little harder to get that something extra out of you that you didn't think that you had or you knew that you had, right? And Doc Rivers, to me, has shown that he can do that. I think he'll be able to coach those guys hard, and I think they'll respect him. I don't know that about Frank yet.
We don't get to talk basketball with you every day, so I want to ask you about something about LeBron, because all of this is a moot point if LeBron is not 27, 7-7, the guy we've seen over the last 15 years. That is just assuming, just baking in. He's going to have the best year 17 any player has ever had. There's only been 3 guys year 17 or later even averaged 20 points. Only 8 guys have averaged 15 points. He is, by the end of this season, probably going to have played 60,000 minutes. The only people who reach that threshold are Kareem and Karl Malone. Do you think we are still going to get, in year 17, is it realistic, that level of LeBron James, at least by the end of the season during the playoff?
So real talk, right? LeBron James is good enough to get 27, 7-7, right? Now, he can go out and he can cheat the game and get those numbers, right? If LeBron James is just playing for the numbers, oh, he'll get it every night. Now, if LeBron James is playing to win, right, he may not get 27, 7-7. He may end up getting 25 and 5, right? But because we judge so much on the numbers, we'll say, well, he's had a bad year, but he's been a better teammate, right? He's helped his team win more. Now, those 5 boxes that we only measure people by now, he can max out in those 5 boxes, and his teammates hate him and don't want to play with him. right? But he'll be good in those 5 boxes. If those numbers drop a little bit, he may win more and could possibly...
Right, if he defers to AD a little bit.
Yeah, he could possibly be better as a player, but those numbers don't tell you that.
All right, Isiah, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Always love good stories, great insights. All right, take a break. Coming up, talk some football. Why did Odell consider walking away from